Mabuhay and Kumusta from the Philippines.
Today we are in Cebu and we've finally come back after a full circle around the southern parts of the country. And right now we're standing in front of Fort San Pedro, which is supposed to be the most important iconic monument here in Cebu City. And to our bad luck, it's been closed. And it was closed yesterday also, so there was no way we could have seen it. And that's because they're celebrating Halloween and All Hallows Day today. So anyways, we still have the outside to enjoy, which we're going to do. And we're going to tell you a little bit about the history that we've learned about this country. So Fort San Pedro, the most iconic monument here, is actually one of the smallest forts you can find in all of the Philippines. But it marks a very important event, which is the arrival of the first Governor General from the Spanish Kingdom here to the Philippines. Under the watch of the Governor Lopez, this particular fort was built out of wood in the very early year of 1565. And after that, the fort, which is placed in a very strategic location, like the sea is right behind this, called for more strengthening of this structure, and that is why in the 17th century the whole fort was rebuilt with stones. But the interesting thing about this place is it's in a triangular shape, which is like very odd for forts, right? Usually they're rectangular or squares, or sometimes even like in hexagonal shapes, but never in a triangular shape. So two sides of the fort actually face the sea, and the flat side of it, the long side, is on the back here, which faces the city itself. And here there's a lot of open space, a bunch of gardens where a lot of people come here to celebrate events like birthdays, weddings, etc. But the rest of the monument is a museum today. Unfortunately, since we can't go inside, we can't show you, but inside there are a lot of important documents and memorabilia of events that occurred during the Spanish rule. Now, in the 19th century, when the Filipino revolutionaries came here to take back control of their country, this is one of the places they stormed and took control of and made their stronghold. So since then, this has been an iconic monument of the revolution itself. And as you can see, the flag flies high over here, and it's very beautiful to see an old monument preserved as it is even today. There is an entrance fee to enter this place and explore the insides of the museum. And even today you can see the guns and the big cannonballs that used to protect the monument over here. Even today you can see a lot of big guns and cannons that line up the walls, and these were used by the Spaniards to actually drive away the Islamic invaders who were coming across this region. So what we are standing in front of now is called as the Magellan's Cross. Ferdinand Magellan was one of the first to circumnavigate the world, and his expedition brought himself and his crew to this part of the world in Southeast Asia, where he found the Philippines. So from a Western perspective, this was one of the most important events in order to come here and colonize this part of the world. And one of the first steps with which that happened was the baptism of the local king and queen and his daughters and 800 other subjects who lived here. So this particular cross is actually a wooden cross today, but inside that it houses a much more smaller cross, which originally was used as part of the baptism ceremony. So it's incredible how even today, after all these years, like nearly 400, 500 years later, you can still see remnants of the discovery of Philippines by the Western colonial powers.
Getting water from a vending machine. Basilica is the oldest Roman Catholic church in the Philippines. It was allegedly built on the spot where the image of the Santo Nino was found during the expedition of Miguel Lopez de Legazpi. This Catholic church dates back to the 1500s and it was rebuilt in the 1700s, and it is known for the statue of Jesus as a child. The Heritage of Cebu Monument, a tableau showcasing the important events in the Cebu City's history, is one of the highlights of this town. The scenes depicted on this monument is related to the time of Spain's colonial rule over the country up to the recent beatification of Pedro Calungsod, the Cebuano martyr. Just across the street from the Heritage of Cebu Monument, we can find Yap-Sandiego Ancestral House, which was built in the 17th century. Chinese merchants built this historic residential home in 1675, and the locals believe it to be one of the oldest existing residential structures in the country. It was in this house that the rich and prominent Filipino Chinese lived during the Spanish times. Today, the 3-century-old house serves as a museum. Visitors can see a lot of religious images, antique furniture, kitchenware, glassware, paintings, and decorative art passed on through 8 generations of the family. As soon as we stepped into this house, we felt like as if we were transported to a different era. We paid 100 peso per person to visit this ancestral house, and we could spend as much time as we want and click as many pictures as we wanted to.
So cool. Let me
I'll tell you how this water tastes. The tastiest thing I've ever had. By subscribing to our channel, you will make 2 rice-eating kids very happy. This will also encourage us to explore more of the world and take you along on this incredible journey. Thank you for watching this video. We'll see you day after. Bye!